What is going on, guys? True Michigander here, coming at you with some absolutely insane one-card branded combos, revolving around this guy right here, Coctorium the Heavy Metal Avian. This is an old card, uh, 5-6 years back from Ghost from the Past 2, as its only print. Its effect: if this card is in your hand or grave, you can tribute one Tri-type Beast Warrior Winged Beast monster, special summon it, but banish one to its field. More importantly, for these combos, using it as a normal summon, you can banish one level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your deck as cost. This card's name becomes the banished monster's name. Also, it becomes the same type, attribute, and level as that monster until the end of the turn. So, I've cooked up some absolutely insane combos with this card. I'm not the person who found it. Shout out this guy, Brandon Despia. He's the person I saw show off this card initially, and I'll have his channel linked below. But the first combo, which I think might be the craziest, just because going first, it's almost an unoutable lock. Starting with just this guy. This is our normal summon. Right? We're going to normal summon this bird, banishing 4 cost a Tri-Brigade Mercurial. Mercurial is going to add the Fallen of White. We're going to use the Fallen of White, dumping a Mirror Jade, summon it, summon out the Ecclesia. Ecclesia tag out for Moye. Moye banish the Mirror Jade to make Chizhou. Here we're going to use the Taya to dump the Gold Sword Soul that you're going to see in a lot of these synchro-based combos. And we're making the Chizhou here because it lets us do one extra synchro summon. If you were just to go for the Ecclesia synchro, you wouldn't be able to make this full crazy outlandish end board. And the Chizhou, once I'm adding, is actually going to banish the blackout to get a Sword Soul token, and to allow us to make our second Synchro 8 here. So we're going to get rid of the bird and the token for the Ecclesia. Ecclesia is going to summon Quem. And here on summon, we're going to go and Sword Soul 1, Quem 2, so we can dump Cartesia and summon the Cartesia off Goron Sword Soul effect. Using the Cartesia effect, going to fuse with it and Fallen of White for the Grand Wignall. And go Grand Wignall 1, Cartesia, or Quem 2, targeting the Fallen of White, not the Cartesia. So we get another Synchro summon off. Then get rid of both of those guys for the Tenyu Spirit. Your dump off Grand Wignall can be kind of whatever you want. I'm just doing Albion here. That's pretty normal to get access to all the branded things at the end of the turn. The Tenyu Spirit, since we have 2 or more worm monsters in grave and or banishment, Mirror Jade and Taya. It's a generic Synchro 8, tuner plus non-tuner, that lets us add a field spell if we hit that 2 worm requirement on someone. It has some other effects while there's non-effect monsters face up on the field, but that's not relevant. What we care about here is adding the field spell. And you'll see that we have a spellcaster on board. So what better field spell can you add for going first than Secret Village of the Spellcasters? We're going to play that, and then we're just going to go to the end phase, right? Main phase 3 in Branded. Here we have a ton of effects. So of course we're going to resolve the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon. We're going to use the Blazing Cartesia and the Incredible Ecclesia to add back to hand. We're going to use the Albion to grab a branded opening. Use the branded opening, discard our Ecclesia. You can discard Cartesia, but I like discarding the Ecclesia, so you have 2 Ecclesias in grave already here. I want to go to your opponent's turn, in case you go for a Dogma play. Use the Aluber, grab a branded in red. Use this branded red, grab back the Fallen White Dragon. Use it and the Tenyi Spirit to make this guy. Brigand the Glory Dragon. So, what this card is, it's a Fallen of Albaz plus a level 8 or higher monster. It cannot be destroyed by battle. And while you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects. And then during the end phase, has the fusion Albaz clause, can add or special a Charbrigade or Albaz. So what is this board? We have a Secret Village of the Spellcaster, which your opponent can activate spell cards unless they control a spellcaster. And if for some reason they let a spellcaster hit the board, we're just going to fuse off with it by using the Credible Ecclesia effect to go into an Albaz and pitch the Cartesia and use whatever they bring out. The only monster you really can't hit is Lucius, which is okay. It's not the best situation to be in, but you're still able to use Chi Zhao since we have a Sortal or a Worm monster engraved to negate the Lucius, and then from there they have to have a Rahu or Ketu or a Phimina, and if they trade the Phimina, they get into a really weird spot where they have to summon Gulabelt, or else they still cannot activate spell cards. If they summon the Arthalion, the only guy they can target is him. And then you're also able to use the Grand Guignol tag out into a Perskinian, another Quem, a Lulu, a Quertus, and then you can also just use the Ecclesia to get rid of the Gulamel that they summon if they understand that they have to have a spellcaster hit the board. But if they go for the Arthalion, they can only target this. It doesn't matter. They're still essentially locked, and you still just fuse off with whatever they do, and their spells are dead. And of course, you're going to get the Cartesia and Ecclesia follow up just every turn. Saluber, if it hits Grave, and then they out a fusion, you can target a monster they control, negate, and summon itself. Obviously, you have the Cheese out negate, and Ecclesia can just kind of do whatever, and the Brigand also provides follow up as well. If you wanted to play 2 Mirror Jade, you could summon the Mirror Jade here when you use the branded red, or even a Dogma if you want, but I like saving the Dogma for my opponent's turn to make with the Elbows. I think this is probably the craziest iteration of this combo, because you essentially have a secret village that's backed up by targeting protection, an imperm, summon into Albaz, and a summon into a Despia Dogmatica. Plus all the follow-up you could ask for, because if they interact with anything, you're just getting more guys back and then phase more and phase triggers. Now, that's the combo. I'm going to show off a few iterations of it. Some aren't as ridiculous. That was probably one of the more crazy ones. This one, same thing, using the Taya to combo here. We're just going to go right into the Ecclesia, though, instead of a Chizo. This one, the synchro plays are going to be a little different. I'm going to still get the secret village out and stuff, though. Yeah, and the real difference here is just grabbing that Mirror Jade instead. And you don't have to use the Taya to go into Chizao immediately and then play like all those extra Sword Soul bricks. And obviously the branded extract is known for being notoriously tight. but this still accomplishes a very similar thing. Instead of having the targeting protection and imperm, you have the Mirror Jade and then the Quem Revive. The third iteration of this is using some different synchro monsters, because maybe you don't want to run Secret Village because you're just assuming your opponent's going to have the Lucius, and it's not going to matter, and they're going to have a hand trap to kind of interact with you at some point along the way to stop some of this madness from happening, or a droplet. So here we're going to go for the Vsauce Almertara and the Mannadium Reframing with 2 tuners, because this does not require a non-tuner. And then here, we're able to just make a lot of diverse interactions just to show you all the different things you could do with this. Right? We sent a Titaniclad off the Grand Guignol in this style combo, and that gets us to an Ecclesia plus whatever Ecclesia is in that phase, whether it be Thunderbolt and we want to set up a trap, or the Fleur-de-Lis. And this is just a lot more hard negates or hard stop effects on this style of the combo. All you're doing was, instead of reviving a non-tuner off the Quem, you revive a light tuner to make the Amritara and do this. And then you have 2 counter traps, which is kind of insane. Obviously, the Ecclesia is going to be the centerpiece of all these combos, and just branded in general. The Grand Guignol, you can kind of say for whatever, because it's pretty hard for them to deal with this, and you're also probably going to be negating 2 of their special summons before even doing anything. And this Thunderbolt will also be able to get to the one Dogmatica trap that shuffles back a banished extra deck monster yours, and then imperms a monster they control. So after you tag out the Grand Guignol, or it can go for the trap that either adds or specials an Elbaz or monster that listed, essentially getting you another Quem effect. So you can go for the Fallen Away into an Ecclesia, into an Elbaz, the whole shebang, or if you have any other branded engine in hand, get even more creative than that, right? This is one of the more unique ones. Obviously, it looks the least like branded going for this end board, but just showing off the possibilities. And obviously, counter traps are insane. And if you had a way to any other branded spell traps, this retribution gets infinitely better as well. And the Ecclesia is just kind of hard to deal with. So the last combo I have, if you want to cut most of the bricks out and just play this funny 1-card combo with cards you would be seeing in pure branded currently, we got this one. This does roll out the branded sword just to show that you can get back the McCourier. You don't have to run the brand sword. But I think it's going to be played in a lot of branded lists at this current point in time. You see, we just go for Grand Guignol, Ecclesia, none too crazy, then dump the Titaniclad off the Grand Guignol for the Quem. Use the Quem to dump the sword to add back the McCourier. Doing the Albion for opening, for Luber, for red. Similar as most of the other combos. And here you summon the Lubellion, pitching the Cartesia cost, and then, since we haven't used the Quem effect to revive from grave, we target the Cartesia to summon it back, because it is a legal target when this activates, since the Lubellion would be chain 1 and discard for cost. We have our Incredible Ecclesia Engrave, our Cartesia to do another fusion summon on our opponent's turn, whether we want that to be into a Sanctifier or a Mirror Jade or anything. We have plenty of options, because we can also chain the Ecclesia Synchro to go into an Albaz and start doing all that fun stuff. Got got the Grand Guignol tag out, of course. You have an unaffected Dogma that has Ecclesia, Synchro, and the main deck one in rotation. You got the Mercurier back because you play the branded sword. If you didn't want to play the branded sword, you could also just have any of the other branded spell traps or monsters in your grave. You could have a High Spirits that's back in your hand. You could have dumped a Retribution. You could have dumped a Brace Blazing. Could have dumped a second copy of Mercurier if you're an absolute animal and you wanted to revive that off the Quem. I could have dumped the new Springin's kit Tri Brigade. The options are endless, and this one is pretty similar to a build that you would see pure branded playing nowadays, just with 3 of this funny old bird to do the 1-card combos. I think this is a little bit better than doing Seifert. While Seifert has more utility in a grind game, this not only banishes for cost, so your opponent can't effectively imperm Valor it or Ash it. Obviously, they can Ash the Mercurier in the Banish Zone to get all this going. The body's still on the board, right? So still a level 4, half the Ecclesia Synchro, and it just makes a lot of your opponent's interactions worse than if they were to interact with Safer. They're both slow effects, so that they lose to remover regardless. But this is one of the more neat interactions I have found using this combo with this funny bird who's literal pennies on TCG Player. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you guys come up with any other cool versions of the combo. I think the Secret Village line is probably one of the nastiest I could come up with, and there's infinite field spells you can do here. You can do the actual branded Despia Theater to go for Secretary and do stuff there. The possibilities are endless, especially with like Synchro 8s in the game. And of course, the Sword Soul Synchro that's going to be coming out later this year that makes stuff like this even crazier. So yeah, that's about it.